Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500 and welcome back to the rebuild, the re-rebuild on Project Christian, the sequel. So it's day 2. Today we are going to have to go off and collect panels. I'm going quite a long journey to collect these panels. Let's see where we went, let's get them back and let's carry on and see if we can get this front finished today. Let's go. Morning. I've come to pick some parts up. I've come a long way today. I've come to Paris. It's a long way to come for parts. Look, it's the Eiffel Tower. What a journey. Ooh la la. Yes, so as you saw there, we went to Paris to collect the panels. A long journey. In case you hadn't realised, it was actually, it wasn't Blackpool. It was Crystal Palace, in case you hadn't already realised that, which is not too far from me. So I had a message from a fella named Malik, who is a subscriber on the channel. Went to meet him today, was greeted with morning, and he has sold me the panels. So I've given him a brand new pattern part driver's wing, which I put a bracket on for him, and he has sold me the wing and the bonnet. So they are in the boot of the car, all the way from Paris. So let's get them out. We'll get the bonnet off first, and then we'll start fitting this wing, and hopefully it's all going to fit nicely. Let's do it. There you go, as you can see, nice condition. Might be a couple of little specks on it which I can touch in. Might even be dirt. Yeah, there's a couple of little specks on it which I can just touch in with paint, not a problem. Not that they'll be worried about that anyway, but as I've got the paint I will just touch those in. The wing looks pretty good to me. Yeah, wing all looks good. It's got a new style bracket on it. It's got the indicator lens in it. I've got loads of those anyway, but it's always good to have it on there. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a nice one. It's come off of a Sport or a Pop or an Abarth or something, because it's got the matte bit down there, but obviously we'll change that for the chrome piece. This is bent on here. I could probably bend it back, but I have got some of those. Hopefully I've got a driver's side gloss one, because I think the other door is coming off an Abarth, so that'll have the one without the chrome. So hopefully I'll have one. I'm sure I've got one up either in the garage or up in the loft somewhere. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But anyway, let's get on. I've lost a lot of the day today because it's almost 1 o'clock now. Having to go over to Crystal Palace, and we got talking for quite some time. Then I had to stop for petrol, where I did my little bit of Paris filming. Then I had to go to Sainsbury's. You don't want to know about all that. Anyway, I'm going to have some lunch soon. So before I have lunch, I am going to get the wing on and get that old bonnet off. So let's just do that, and then we can offer up this headlight and see if we can get it to fit nicely. Fingers crossed. Getting that in, because I haven't plastic welded that bit yet, and I hope I'm not going to damage it. So as you can see there, it fits, it sits in there beautifully, but the bracket that it bolts to is there's about an inch gap there, so that has obviously moved a bit. Hopefully it's just that's moved, and if I can loosen the bolts, and we can just twist it round, pull the whole thing out a little bit, and then we'll twist it round, and then hopefully it will fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the bumper. Unplug, is that the right word? Take the bumper off again, take that wing off, and then we'll adjust that, and then we'll put the headlight in, and then we'll try. So we know the bumper goes in, and it sits in the right place, and that is done up, you know, pretty sturdy. So once we get that back into position, we can then try the headlight, and hopefully the headlight will fit in side to side. It should do. I think it will. In fact, I might try that first before I take it off. I'll take the bumper off, but then just put the headlight in place and see how it sits. We'll get there. We'll get there. It's just a matter of adjustment. I was pretty certain that this was going to be the case anyway. But yeah, it's just a bit of jiggery pokery. As you can see, I scratched me bloody new paintwork, so I'll have to tidy that up. Hopefully it might polish out. It's just in the clear coat, hopefully. I haven't polished the bumper yet, but I thought I'd do it all at the same time. But yeah, it's we're getting there. We are getting there. So actually, if I push that bumper into position, watch what that does. That goes out even further, so it's actually more than an inch. So it's got to come over quite a bit. I have done this before on the passenger side, but we'll get to it anyway. So I won't time lapse it all. I'll get it right, and then we'll come back and then we'll carry on. Right, I'm getting there. I am getting there. So I've got that in the right place, and I've got the headlight plugged in, as you can see down there. The only issue I'm having now is I mean that's loose in there, but it's in the locator tab there. But this bar, I keep calling it a bar. This somehow I've got to try and yank this forward somehow. So it's sort of bent and pushed around. I mean, I've manipulated as much as I can. I'm going to have to try and get. I should have got those things screwed in the wall. I could have. It's only mild steel, but it's all right pulling it up and down and that way. But it's just getting it sort of to bend that way is proving quite difficult, because I've got to pull it in the middle, but leaving this bit where it is, which is a bit difficult. So I could bend the whole thing and then possibly bend that back, but I don't want to end up splitting that, because that would be a disaster. That would mean a new front panel, which, had this been my car that I was repairing for the first time, that's exactly what would have been done. Even without, I wouldn't be pissing around doing this. I would be putting a new front panel on. But obviously we're trying to keep the cost down and the amount of work, even though it's a lot of work anyway. We're trying to keep the amount of work down. So I'm going to continue. We'll get there eventually. I want to get this front done today. It is about 2:30 now, so I haven't really got very much done today, because backwards and forwards. But yeah, let's get on, and we'll come back hopefully, and we'll get it done, and then we can get the bonnet on. Okay, done. It took some doing, I have to say, and I'm sure it's probably not in the right position. But when you look, if I compare the side that I've manipulated to the good side, apart from it's a little bit chewed up, and I will put a bit of paint over it, it's not that dissimilar. God, it was a job and a half. But let me show you from the side. So not perfect, and it's never going to be perfect without changing that front panel, I don't think. But it's not bad. It's not bad. It's acceptable, that's for sure. I've still got to do some bolts up underneath on that little bracket, so they need to be tightened up a bit. But what do you think? Looking good, I think. And look how good that matches for that paint. A little bit darker than that wing, but then you move to the side and it's the same. Don't know what it looks like through the camera, but it's pretty damn good. And of course the wing came off of a different car. It's the right colour, but different car. But that seems to match the door as well. And of course we got the door to come, and the door's got to be painted yet. But I'm going to get the bonnet on, and then we just hope and pray that we get the bonnet on and it fits. Right, we're losing the light now. It's 25 to 5, so we haven't got much time left. But yeah, I am really pleased with this. Really pleased with it. Well, I haven't spent a day on it, unfortunately, because as you know, I had places to go, getting parts and what have you today. But the bonnet's on. The bonnet is nicely fitting, relatively nicely fitting. It is a little bit further out here than it should be. There's absolutely nothing I can do about that. That's because that bit of the front panel is pushed in. I can't do anything about that. I've got nothing to pull it out with. So the headlight's in. As I said earlier, you know, ideally I would have changed the front panel, but I was trying to get away without doing that, and he's happy with that. So they'll be over the moon with it. They will be absolutely over the moon with it, I think, because I'm pleased with it. Due to the limitations, it's not perfect, but hey ho, we've got it as good as we can get it, and we're getting there. We are getting there. So front is done now, pretty much. The only thing I haven't put the arch liner in because I want to wait until the door goes on. So I've rubbed down the rear quarter, and I've put some dolphin glaze on, just trying to make it better. I'm going to rub it down again tomorrow. More dolphin glaze, no doubt, and as much dolphin glaze as it needs to get it a perfectly smooth finish. Then we'll put some guide coat on, rub that down. Now I've got some guide coat, rub that down, and yeah, what I sort of partially put the bumper in this side. I wanted to see how it fell, and it's not perfect, and I have put some filler in there, and without a doubt I will need to put more filler in there, without a doubt. I'm just going to try and build it up, and then what I might do is, see that, because the bumper is warped stroke damaged, it sits in there fairly well, but that point there could do with coming out. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably bond that bit just so it's straight. It'll just look better. Again, you know, ideally you'll go to body shop for this, but yeah, it's coming along all right actually. Once that's done, you won't. I don't think you'll notice it. And to be honest, considering I didn't pull that using the welding machine, you know, I used a screwdriver and PDR, very, very cheap basic PDR tools to do that. It's come out all right, you know, it's straight. Obviously there's pit holes in it where, but you know, they're reduced now because I've put some more filler in, and there will be more to come. So yeah, it's coming along. I still want to try and pull that out if I can, but that will be with the hot or cold glue. And then again tomorrow I have put some primer over there, but I did spot some dodgy bits, so I've rubbed that back down and I've put some more filler in there. So that'll be, we'll do that at the same time, and then we'll come down here and then we'll blow it into the side. So tomorrow, door's coming tomorrow. He's going to pick the door up tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. So tomorrow is day 3, and I will incorporate that in this video as well. If it gets too long, I will split it into 2, but at the moment we haven't got much for this video, so we'll incorporate that into this. So yeah, door will be coming tomorrow. So while I'm doing that, I'll do that tomorrow, and then whilst the filler's going off and what have you, we'll get the welding machine out and we'll do this. We'll get this pulled out and get this all filled, and then what I want to do after that, we'll do this bit. Morning, welcome back. It's the next day. Today's Thursday. Going to continue with that rear quarter to start with. We went over what I'm going to try and do today anyway, so I won't go over it again because you've just seen that. Door, as I said, is coming today. I haven't heard from them. I don't know what time it's coming, but yeah, it's a little bit on the breezy side today. So if I do manage to get around to painting it, which I'm not sure I will, hopefully the wind will drop, and I'll try and put it somewhere that I can do it that will keep the wind away from it. Anyway, enough of this. Let's get on with it. I've got everything set up, ready to start sanding. Let's do it. Right, I rubbed it down. It didn't look too bad actually. It looked quite good, but there was a few pinholes in it. So I put some more dolphin glaze on, and we'll let that go off for maybe, I don't know, maybe an hour. Doesn't take that long, but we'll let it go off for a good hour. But I'm pleased with the progress so far. I've still got the guide coat indoors. I haven't brought it outdoors yet. So once I sand this down to I think is satisfactory. I'll get the guide coat and then we can find the high and low spots and fill anything that's necessary. And I think using this type of stuff will make a big difference, I think. So hopefully within the next couple of hours I can get that in primer, hopefully. So next thing we're going to do, I was tossing up whether to do that next or this next, but I want to do this. So I've got me Vivor stud welding gun, which I've only used once. I used it on the Red Sport when I did the sill. So you have to change the heads to use these. Not those, sorry. We've got these little key type things. Now you have to change the head for that, I think. There's another, is it that head? I'm not sure. And then you use, so we put those on and then you use this thing to sort of, you know, grab bigger bits to pull out. So for the moment I'm going to use the nails because I want to pull out those individual little dents, like that one there, that's quite deep. I'm going to pull out that one and pull out that one. The rest of it I think can probably be pulled out as a whole piece. And then we may have to tap bits back down again as well. I mean, obviously we need to put a skim of filler over it afterwards, but I just want to try and do as much as I can. I've disconnected the battery because obviously we're using the electric on the car, so I don't want to go zapping anything. So yeah, let's get on with it. I'll get set up, we'll stick it on, we'll stick the camera up in real time and we'll see if we can film some of this. I'm not going to film all of it, but we'll film some of it and see how we get on. Okay, it's quite a heavy bit of kit this, and the actual cable could do a little bit longer. So right, what you do is you put one of the nails in there. You can find it on the Dent. I think you need to turn power up a little bit. There you go, like that. How about that? That one there. Put a couple on there. Quite easy to use, really. Oh, I bent that one. Where else? I think possibly it might be able to pull, I don't know, just trying to think whether we can get any more on some of the smaller, that one there. That one's not gonna, if you don't make contact with the bit around the outside, the earth bit, properly, yeah, I don't know what, some of them it doesn't seem to want to. Right, let's have a go at a few pulling bits. It's coming. I think it's more important these bits, really. Cold on your hands, this. Yes, working. It is working. I'm still not convinced about this edge. Maybe, I mean, you know what, as the door is in, I'm actually wondering whether this is actually the door that's bent rather than this. I think we really need to wait until we get the new door on, you know. If I can just pull out the individual dents. because obviously we know where the wing is in the right place, but the door, see the door at the bottom, you can't see it from there I don't think, the door at the bottom is in the right place, and then here it's pushed in. So I actually think, you know what, I think it is that the door's pushed in. It's not that that this is pushed in. I think it's just these dents. So I think I'm going to go ahead, I've broken that one. I've got to grind these off anyway. So I think actually, now I've pulled these big dents out, that one still needs a bit of work. That one's okay now, so we snap that off. And then all we do is we grind them back. The rest of it, I think, can be filled. Once we've ground those off, let's pull that one out a little bit more. Because looking at this in more detail, and I did look at it from underneath, I think it's definitely not this. It's the door. I'm pretty sure it is actually now. Because here it's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna err on the side of caution, but I think that's what it is. Being a bit stubborn, this one. Let's tighten that up properly. It's coming out a lot, but not completely. It's been a bit stubborn. But again, you know, obviously it's come out a lot more now. That's more like it. That's going to have to be tapped down a little bit at the edge. That's not bad now. It's quite well welded on that one. Right, so I just need to grind these off because my little mini grinder is absolutely knackered. I need to get a new decent one. I've actually bought one. I think I might have even ordered one. I can't remember now. I ordered so much stuff from Amazon. I've ordered a new drill because my cheap drill that I got from Amazon has packed up again for the second time. So I bought a Ryobi one. But my little mini cordless little mini angle grinder thing that I use all the time, the batteries are just crap on them from Lidl's, and they just break. They just stop charging. So I've got it on charge. It just doesn't last very long, and I need that to be able to get these off. And then obviously you haven't seen me do that, but I've done that as well. I've pulled that out pretty much okay now. I just need to get a skimmer filler over that as well. And we are going great guns. I really think, provided I don't have to have too much filling and waiting, I really think I'm going to be able to get this painted today, you know. So it's going to, I mean, that I might get away with one coat of filler plus some dolphin glaze. That, with a bit of luck, maybe one, possibly two, plus dolphin glaze. But, you know, you've got to leave it some time between coats to go off and then sand it and make sure you get it right. But I reckon that I can get that sanded, painted today, which will be fantastic, because then that's all that's left to do is the door then. Right, quick update. I can't remember if I've already showed you this. So I've done the first coat on there, filler that is. I've done the first coat of filler on there. I've got a little bit on the back that's needs a little bit in. The rest of it's okay. The main part of it is okay. There's a little bit at the back of it. So when I do another coat on this, I'll just fill that in. I managed to get that off, heating it up. I used the windscreen stuff to a degree, but it was cutting into the plastic, so I ended up using a knife, pulling it out as I got it started with the windscreen wire. I got a knife, sort of pulled it away and got a knife at the top and run a knife along the glue, got it off. I've rubbed it down. I've got pretty much all the scratches out. I've rubbed it down quite coarsely. I've got pretty much all the scratches out. Some of them are really deep and I can't go any further because it will end up creating a divot, but I've done as best I can. I've just panel wiped it, which is now, looks like it's dry, so I'm going to wax some primer on that to start with. And I thought we might as well get that painted. I've had a notification that the door has been collected about 20 minutes, half hour ago, so I think probably within the next half hour or so we will be here with the door. Paint hasn't arrived unfortunately yet. I think it's meant to be coming today, I think. I think it was dispatched yesterday on, I'll have to check the tracking, on next day by DPD, I think. I have to have a look on the app, see if it says anything about a parcel for me. I think it's DPD they send it by. Hopefully it will come today, otherwise I'm not going to be able to get the... I can do these, because I think I've got enough paint for these, but I certainly haven't got enough for the door. I don't know whether that's going to take one or probably take a can and a half to do the door. So I bought another 2 cans to be on the safe side. I have got a half can, an old can, which I used on this car, I think, when I had it before, which I've still got, which will be okay, but obviously I want to use the same batch, same, you know what I mean, the same paint made at the same time, to try and get a best finish as I can. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you that quick update. I hope you're not going to complain that I haven't shown you enough on this, because I'm doing quite a lot and some of it's difficult to show you, and it will make the videos just far too long. So I hope it's okay that I'm just sort of showing you, telling you what I'm going to do and then showing you sort of afterwards, and in between, of course, as well. But yeah, so yeah, we'll be back in a bit. Right, door's arrived. It's a complete door. It didn't have a mirror. They've obviously taken the mirror off, which is a nuisance. But I have got mirrors, so but it's saved 40 quid because it's got a door handle on it. Everything is there, including, this has come off of an Abarth, so including a black door card. And the glass is there, it's just wound down. So obviously that's got some value in it, so the black door card will be getting sold as well. And then, as I just said to him, all the bits that I can take off of it, that I can sell, once I've sold all the bits, I'll give him the money. So that's good. So this is, I think this is probably the same colour, 695, I think. Same colour as the one that's sitting in front of the house. Got a white pinstripe there, which we've got to take off. And obviously, of course, that's black paint. So I think what I'll do is I'll rub that down. Well, obviously I'll rub the whole thing down. Take the handle off, of course. Rub the whole thing down. Take all the trim off. And do we need to take the trim off? I think we do, don't we? Yeah, because I've got to paint the inside of it as well, haven't I? That's a nuisance. Could leave that, I suppose. Should I leave it? No, if I'm painting it, I might as well paint it all, mightn't I? Assuming I've got enough paint, of course. So yeah, there's quite a lot of prep to do. Quite a lot of rubbing down, because we've got to rub all down in there. I ain't got to go mad. Why do they take the hinges off? That annoys me when they do that, take the hinges off. It's easier just to undo the nuts and just lift the thing off. Why do they do that? Obviously, as far as I know, there's nothing wrong with the hinges on this one. If not, I'll have to get some bloody hinges. Yeah, so we'll take all the rubber trim off, take the quarter panels, the matte bits off. They've all got to come off anyway, because I've got to put the gloss ones on. But yeah, quite a lot of prep to do. But I'm still hoping that I can get some of that done today. I would like, at the very, very least, I would like to get this in primer today. At the very least. I've learned so much doing this, and I'm really glad I'm doing it. I know I'm only doing it for 300 quid, and it's been a lot of effort. I've taken time off work to do it, but I've learned so much doing this. Patience is the thing that I think I've learned the most. Don't go at it, don't rush it. Take your time, fill it, rub it down, feel it. If it needs any more, go, keep doing it. This has had 2 lots now, and this needs a 3rd. There's a little dig there, tiny little dig there, tiny little dig there. There you can just about feel the dent still, so that needs a bit, and that's just a little bit on the rough side there. Some couple of little bits there. Apart from that, that's all right. That's all good now. I'm going to rub this bit down next, and I'm sure that'll probably need some as well. But obviously, I want to mix filler up and then use it at the same time. So it's a nuisance that you have to keep leaving it. But you've got to let it dry. So again, patience. Yeah. So this has had 2 coats. There's still a few scratches on it. I did it as much as I could, but some of them are really deep gouges, so I couldn't go down too far. And I wasn't going to mess around filling this as well. It's still going to look a million times better. It's on the bottom of the door. Who's going to see it anyway? So I'm going to give it one more wet coat, and then I'm going to. I'll leave it a little bit, 10 minutes, and then I will give it a final. Not final. I will give it a. What do you call it? Clear coat. Yeah. And then that'll be ready then, and that can be polished up tomorrow, and then whenever I put the door on, stick it on the door. Great stuff. I think what I might do actually, which will be easier, is if I can, I've got to make sure I measure it properly, of course, but if I put it on the door while the door is lying horizontal, it'll give it more of a chance for the glue to go off. Don't know, we'll have a think about that one. Anyway, back shortly. Right, okay, so microphone is a bit powered down. I left it switched on today, so it's not brilliant. Just done a final coat. You can still see it. There are a couple of bits where it's not fantastic, but complete transformation from what it was. So I've literally just done that, so I'll leave that 15 minutes and I'll clear coat it. So you can see it, but you know, I could have gone over it again. If it's been my car, I would have gone over it again to make it perfect. It's not far off, but there are bits that you can see. But I'm suitably happy with it. And he came and had a look when he dropped the door off, and he was, from what he said, I said, obviously, you know, it's dirty, it's in primer and so on, but he was over the moon with it. He said she'll be absolutely over the moon when she sees it. This bit's ready now for paint. So this bit here, I have primed and it's okay down there. However, there's a couple of little bits here and here that need some attention. So although I have primed it, I am going to just rub that back, and I'm just going to fill that a little bit more to make that as good as I can get it. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Yeah, not sure about that bit. Right, morning, we're back again. So yesterday I couldn't finish off recording yesterday because I went for my fourth and final COVID jab yesterday, and whilst I was out I left the microphones switched on and they ran out of power, so I couldn't do it. So I did this yesterday afternoon. It's had 2 coats, it needs another. So I was completely losing the light. It had gone, it had almost completely gone, the light, so I couldn't continue. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to rub it, I'm just going to provide a key, just going to run a 2000 or 2500 grit over it just to provide a bit of a key. Then I'm going to do the final coat. Unfortunately it's a little bit breezy today, so it's coming in sort of waves. It's only breezy, it's not majorly windy, but it's stopped now. You might hear it on the microphone when it picks up, but obviously going to have to be careful how I do it. I don't want the paint blown away. Yeah, so I'm going to just key that up, give that another go, another coat. That'll be my full coat. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I didn't just paint the whole thing. Be interesting to see how that, if that looks any different. If it is different, I'll do that as well. But I've done it up to here. You can't see the colour change. I mean, you can see that bit's glossy and that bit's not, of course, because there's no clear on it yet. But apart from that, it's pretty damn good. So the old fade out thinners. So I use the fade out thinners. I've figured out how to use it, and again, you can see the new paint, which is, and you can feel it. The new paint, which has not been polished yet, you know, cut back, so it's a little bit orange peely, although it's nice and glossy, but you can't really see the join. You can just about see the join there, so I rubbed it back to sort of there with 600 grit just to key it up so it goes dull. I've then painted, I've clear coated up to that point and just gone over slightly, and then got that air, wind's coming up now, and then you get the old fade out thinners and you just and it just melts one into the other. It works really well. I've never used it before. Well, I have used it once, but I didn't really know what I was doing. But yeah, it works well. Now the video what video I did have, I put together yesterday, and time's starting to get on. So that was sort of, you know, 2 days work, if you like, in one. Even though, you know, I've not recorded everything I've done. So I am going to end this video here, and the continuation of this will be on the next video. So I am hoping to get this finished today. Got the door to do. That's got to be rubbed down. A lot of prep work involved in that. Get that rear quarter done. Get that door done, clear coated by lunchtime hopefully, and then give it a decent amount of time to go off, and then I'll get my daughter outside to help me. We'll get this back on its wheels with the arch liner in. We can move it over a little bit, get this door off and get that other door on, and then tomorrow, it then should all be finished today, and then tomorrow all we need to do, which is Saturday, is to come out and polish it all, polish all the new paintwork, and then give the car a wash and put some protection on it. So that'll be it then. fingers crossed it all goes well with the door today. So yeah, as I said, I'm going to end this video here because I don't want to make the video too long, and I'll get as much, I'll try and film a little bit more today, stuff me actually doing it, if I can. It's just I was getting a bit, there was a lot of work and I just wanted to get on with it basically. But you know, I've spent, this is day number 4, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday being today, and then, you know, as I say, just to polish hopefully tomorrow, and that'll be it, done, finished, and then they can come pick it up either tomorrow afternoon or Sunday, and then we can move on. I am bidding on another project today, if I don't forget about the auction. It's a facelift, 2017 facelift black sport Cayenne for my sister-in-law. I'm hoping to get it for less than £4,000. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this project. I've learned so much doing this car, really have learned so much, and it's given me so much more confidence in painting as well. It really has. I'm not going to be scared by quarter panel damage, and in fact, I'm probably going to go to the body shop and get my convertible back, get Glenn the mechanic to do the seal. I think I might have already mentioned this, and then I'm going to do that rear quarter. Got to give it a try, haven't I, on my own car, where I can take more time as well. So yeah, that's it for this this video. The next one will probably come not till next Sunday, because I've got a walk around video coming for the silver car on next Wednesday. So yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself now, so I'm sorry there's a bit of a gap between videos, but you know how it is. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please click on the button, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up. Until the next one, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you then.